Good morning, everybody. How we doing? It is just me flying solo today. If you were here last week, you probably remember that Nikki is on vacation this week. I think they're doing their last round of camping here before the end of the year. So it's kind of going to be a shorter show today anyway. Not much new to show you guys. I grabbed a couple of fall things just because it looks like based on orders that are coming in, everyone is kind of getting to the fall point, starting to work on fall crafts. As you know, we do have our summer stock up sale. Ends today, I believe at midnight. Summer stock up 26 should be the coupon code. Make sure you get those orders in. We are slammed with orders right now, so we're running, a couple days for processing. So that's part of the other reason why it'll be a little bit of a shorter show today, because I'm generally taking care of processing and shipping this week, and I don't want that to fall behind. So, well, good morning, Suzanne. How you doing? Hi, Michelle. I said good morning, everyone. Hope you had a great week. Yeah, it's been a very good week. It's just been busy. So like I said, as you guys know, we've been running our stock up sales since last Friday. So we're slammed. And of course, it's summertime and people have vacations and all that stuff, squeeze them in before the kids go back to school. So a lot of us are running around wearing a lot of hats, but it's a good problem to have. So, in a time like now, when a lot of small businesses are struggling, we're proud to be in our 41st year of business, and I would much rather be backed up and running around, wearing a lot of hats than sitting around twiddling my thumb waiting for orders to come in. So looks like Nikki is in the chat. So in the chat where you see Factory Craft from Facebook, I'm going to assume that's Nikki on there. Yeah, good question, Nikki. Yeah, if you guys, if you've ordered anything from the sale, what'd you order? What'd you get? You may not have received your order yet, but if there's anything you ordered that you're waiting on, let us know. Yeah, hi, Kat. Yeah, so for some reason we were running into some issues with YouTube. We didn't realize it. It looked like it was working fine when it was loading up the stream, and then we started getting word that it wasn't simultaneously streaming on YouTube at the same time. And then I tested it this morning and it didn't work. And then I tested it again and it did. And then when I was getting ready to start the multi-stream live here at 10, all of a sudden I got an error from YouTube again. So I stopped it really quick and then restarted it. And obviously now it's working. I don't know. I don't do streaming for a living. So I don't know what's causing the issues. But if it's your first time here, make sure you say hi. Let us know where you're watching from. How's the weather? How did you find us? If it's your first time here, my name is Brian. Normally I have Nichole with me. And every Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, we come on. Just say hi. We like to come on, take a 45 minutes or an hour or so and, chat with our customers, our fans, our friends, all that. And just chat about whatever you guys want. If there's anything you guys want to ask me while I'm here this morning to get some conversation going, anything about me, anything about the company, we can do an Ask Me Anything. I don't care. So, but let me know what you guys are working on right now. Like I said, a lot of stuff is, a lot of orders coming in. It's a lot of fall stuff and Christmas. Quite a bit of Christmas stuff too. A lot of you guys are taking advantage of this sale and jumping on your Christmas supplies and Christmas decor early. So let us know, if you're ordering that far in advance, what are you using that stuff for? So we did have a tornado touchdown here Saturday, Sunday? I think it was Saturday. Yeah, actually, ironically, it touched down half a mile from my house. It was fortunately it was east of us, so it was already past the house and moving away from it. But my neighborhood, I live in a cul-de-sac. At the end of our cul-de-sac are some elevated railroad tracks, and right on the other side of the railroad tracks, a smaller EF0 touchdown. Tore through a cornfield. Someone went on and took a cool drone shot over the cornfield, and you can actually see like the dirt path where it kind of snaked through and all the corn that was just, just laying down everywhere. Took down a ton of trees along the river, so the main road back to my part of town was closed for a couple days for all the cleanup, and it did some minor damage to an asphalt roofing plant around there. But yeah, it was probably not a parent of the year moment, but at one point when we were down in the basement Saturday, it was sounding kind of windy in that, but and we were all down in the basement with me and Lisa and the kids and the dog and the cat were in the basement, and it started kind of windy, and Aiden's like, man, it sure sounds windy out there. And I was like, let's go run upstairs and take a look. So Aiden and I went upstairs, and while the sirens were going off, we went out to the front porch, and it was probably around the time that the tornado was down, because I remember our house faces south, so I remember we were on the front porch looking south and looking west, and it's not too bad. And then when we look to the east, right where the elevated tracks are, it was pitch black and like eerie. So I was like, yeah, we better get back in the house, and went back down the basement. And then it was later that night that they said there was a radar confirmed tornado, and then we started getting notices that the road was closed and all that. And then the National Weather Service did come out and do an investigation, and they did confirm that it had touched down. They said it was an EF0, which is like the weakest. I think they said the winds were about 90 miles an hour, so enough to take down some trees and tear up a corn and bean field like it did, and just do some minor damage. But still kind of weird that literally it was that close to the house. I mean, if those elevated tracks weren't there, we could just look out of those cornfields, like 100% would have seen it. So let me catch up some comments here. So Suzanne said, I'm in North Carolina. It's hot and muggy. Ugh. I've been doing diamond art. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, my daughter has been doing diamond. She got a diamond art kit and the glue and all that for it. And her new thing is she's been doing like diamond art and bedazzling like on her phone case. And then she did Lisa's phone case. So yeah, she got a clear phone case, and she's been doing design. So her and Lisa have been doing a lot of the diamond art and rhinestone stuff. Yeah, Nikki. Yeah. It was Saturday night. Yep. Yeah, diamond art is super popular now. And whether you just buy all of the loose kind of rhinestone diamonds, if you will, or there's a lot of you can get like kits that have I don't know, it's almost like you can get some kits that are like a paint by number kind of thing, and then you actually adhere the diamonds to that to make the actual design. Andrew said, good smoky morning. Smokey, do you guys have wildfires or something by you? What's going on with that? Kat said, you guys seem to get like you've had your fair share of tornadoes this year. There's been a few already. Most of them have been in our area. Most of them have been like up north, like Tip City, Troy area, about an hour north of here. Or then I think there were one or two that were down south, closer to Cincinnati, and then there were some, maybe an hour or so away across the border in Indiana. But this was the first one that, I think had really touched down in the Dayton area. And like I said, the fact that it was that close to the house was, kind of crazy. So just a reminder, because I know plenty of people that, when Aiden and I ran outside real quick to take a look, one of my neighbors across the street was, the sirens are going off, and he was literally sitting on his driveway in a lawn chair smoking a cigar. I think he just figured, if I see something, that'll go in the basement. But if you live anywhere that gets tornadoes and you hear sirens going off, it's not a joke. Just get to your safe safe place, bathroom, interior room, whatever, basement, wherever. So because you never know. Spokane, Washington has been on. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know you guys had fires up that way. Well, hopefully they get it under control soon. Yeah, that's awful. I know we were getting some of the haze here from all those wildfires up in Ontario. We had a couple of days where it was really hazy. There was one day in particular where I remember going outside of my lunch break, and like you could literally smell smoke, which is crazy because Ontario's 3.5 hours north of us, and you couldn't see more than like a mile down the road because it was so hazy. So but I think all those were under control. So hopefully that gets under control. And again, if it's your first time here, we're from Factory Direct Craft Supply. Our website is factorydirectcraft.com. We are a small family-owned craft supply company here in just south of Dayton, Ohio, celebrating our 41st year in business, which we are extremely proud of. There are very few, family-owned businesses that can sustain that kind of lifespan, and we're still going strong. So, if you order from factorydirectcraft.com, your order is going to ship from our warehouse here in Ohio. So you're not going to wait for stuff to come in from overseas, like if you order on Temu or Alibaba or any of that stuff. So let's see. Hi, Nancy. Good morning. How are you? She's like, okay. Is it okay? Okay, I'm up. So. Well, hopefully you had good sleep. Sounds like you're a little restless getting up. I don't have to worry about that. I have a dog whose internal alarm clock is 5:15 every single morning, which was really rough. The other night we took the kids to see the new Spider-Man movie because they wanted to see it, and Aiden had soccer practice, or he was working for his varsity soccer team. They had to work every year. The varsity boys volunteer and work at the local the recreation league in our town. They always do a soccer camp for all the little rec teams, and the varsity boys always go and help out and teach the kids stuff and run drills. So Aiden was doing that Tuesday until like 8:30. So we went and saw Spider-Man at like 9:15, 2.5 hour movie. So we're getting out of there at like midnight. Get home at like 12:30. I finally get into bed around 1, and 5:15, dog wants to get up. Dog wants to get up. So, yeah. So I get you, Nancy. Sometimes it can be tough to get up in the morning. So, what else is going on? I don't know if you guys heard. Dayton is in some national news. If any of you guys, this is kind of funny. If any of you guys are familiar with. A lot of you guys have probably heard of Buc-ee's. It's that big national gas station chain. They have like 150 pumps, and then you go inside and they have all the barbecue and all that stuff. So Buc-ee's opened up their first Ohio location north of Dayton in a city called Huber Heights. It's right near, like, if you're driving through this way, right near I-75 and I-70, which is considered like the shipping corridor of the U.S. or something, because between 75 and 70 east and west, you can get anywhere in the country pretty much. And there is a town not far from Huber Heights called Beaver Creek, and there's been a local convenience store, not even a gas station, just a local small family-owned convenience store for like decades, called Beaver Mini Mart, and it's Beaver as in Beaver Creek. And they have a cartoon beaver kind of on their convenience store sign. And apparently, Buc-ee's, being the giant corporation they are, is suing this little, family-owned convenience store, saying that their mascot is too close to Buc-ee's. And I think they said people could see their logo and be confused and think that they're somehow affiliated. It's so it's gotten all the way to the point that the governor is stepping in and issued a statement, asking Buc-ee's to drop the stupid lawsuit or else. Don't know what else means. I guess we'll find out. But I was flipping through it's made like national news, and I guess this is something that Buc-ee's is known for, is suing any gas station that has like a cartoon logo. So I don't know if any of you guys heard about that, but it's kind of been in the news. So what did I think? The movie was really good. If you've followed all the Spider-Man movies, like the Tom Holland ones, it was really good. It was very good. It tied up a lot of cliffhangers and some loose ends and that. But yeah, it was very good. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but if you're a Marvel movie fan and you like the Spider-Man movies, 100% go see it. We all really enjoyed it. So Nancy said, "I hope the convenience store wins." Me too. As someone who has spent over 10 years working for a family-owned small business that very much competes in a market, that is filled with your corporate big box stores and all that stuff. I 100% support the convenience store. We are very big on, buy local, eat local. We generally try to go out and support local restaurants instead of big national chains. If we can ever get produce or meat from a local farmer's market, we always try to do that. We generally do that, I think, almost every weekend. We try to get to a farmer's market and stock up on meats and produce and, whatever isn't coming out of our garden. We try to do that. So, definitely support local and support the little guy. Support the little guy. So what else have you guys been working on? So there's not a whole lot else going on here. I think we're wrapped up with college visits, at least until maybe the fall. So that was a neat experience. So I think Aiden's got it knocked down to, I think he's got like 10 schools that he's going to apply to, and then we'll go from there based on where his acceptances come in, and maybe we'll visit some more schools in the fall. So, hey, Gloria, Nikki's on vacation this week. So last week she kind of briefly mentioned that her and Chris and the kids are they are on their last. They have a camper, like an RV, so they're doing their last camping trip of the year this week before their kids go back to school here. I think in the next week and a half or so. So Nick, you'll be back next week. We've tried to, whether I've remoted in or we've tried to do the remote thing, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And since today is going to kind of be a more abbreviated show because we're pretty slammed around here, I just told Nikki not to worry about it. She's in the comments. She's in the chat though. So if you see, anything from Factory Direct Craft Supply, that would be Nikki. So, like I said, there's a lawsuit with someone using a name similar to the Lego My Eggo slogan on a food truck. That truck calls itself Lego My Egg Roll. That's fantastic. That's a brilliant name. There shouldn't be a lawsuit about that, unless it's, maybe if Eggos have like the LEGGO, maybe they have that spelling trademarked, maybe. Do we have primitive crafts? Yes. Is there anything specific you're looking for? We have tons. We have all kinds of rusty tin stuff, wood cutouts, all the rusty, crusty things. A lot of stuff, with matte finishes, metal items, a lot of muted finish stuff. So, Andrew said Practical Magic 2 is coming out. I'm not familiar with the Practical Magic series. What's it about? I'm not familiar with that one. Gloria said, kids started school here today. Wow, already. That's early. That's really early. So Brenda said, hello, I am silently watching. No worries, Brenda. Glad you are here. So Debbie said, awesome. Yeah. So, Debbie, our website is factorydirectcraft.com. If you go on there, you can actually do it, type in primitive, and you can, or if you want to, or if you really want to, like if you're looking for something like rusty or rustic, those kind of finishes, in the search bar you could just type in rusty tin, rustic is another one to put in, and it'll bring up items. We have over 42,000 items in our warehouse, so that search bar, plus there's also some categories you can click on that'll help you kind of narrow through, so you're not scrolling through thousands of pages of items. So Gloria said, I don't think my kids go back until like the 20th or the 21st or something like that. So, which is funny because like Aiden's soccer season already starts tonight, even though they don't go back they have like a preseason game tonight. But it's like an official game, not just like a scrimmage. So, it's funny that they're already starting that up, a couple weeks before school, but, I'm excited. It's the senior year, so it's going to be tough watching him, his last year of, organized high school soccer, but he was named a starter for this season, and he's worked really, really hard for all that. So it'll be pretty fun and pretty awesome. So yeah, Andrew, I'm gonna have to check out Practical Magic. I haven't seen Practical Magic. So some schools in New Mexico started last week, like end of July last week. Do they do the Gloria? Do they do do they do the summer break thing there? Because I know, especially it seems to be a thing like out west and southwest. My sister used to teach in Las Vegas for a couple years, and I know they kind of did a year round schedule where they would have like their 9-week quarter, and then they'd be off for like 2.5 weeks, and then they'd start a 9-week quarter, and they'd be off for 2.5 weeks, and then after the last quarter they were off for like a month maybe, and then went right back. So I don't know if that's how they do it there. I know at one point that's how like the Henderson school system in Las Vegas was doing it. So, but yeah, even if not, end of July is really early to start for kids to go back to school. So, Mr. Practical Magic is my favorite Halloween movie with Nicole Kidman. Oh, I know what movie you're talking about. I haven't seen it, but I know which one you're talking about. And of course, you have to have Midnight Margaritas that came from the first movie. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I do. I know of the movie now that you mentioned Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock being in it. I have not seen it though. I wonder if I bet my daughter probably has because she's a Halloween movie freak. So yeah, summer break was last week of May. Well, that's a short break because my kids got done the third week of May, I think. At the end of the third week of May, around the 21st, 22nd, and they don't go back to school until like August 20th. Andrew said it's probably more of a chick flick, but it's my favorite. Yeah, I'd be willing to bet that my wife and daughter have seen that one because especially around Halloween, they like watching all that kind of stuff. Maybe wouldn't be my jam, but I don't know. I will find out. I'll have to see if they've watched that one because if not, they would probably like it. So let's see. Not much else going on other than the sale ends today. Summer stock up 26. Make sure you get those orders in before midnight. Get that 25% off of every order. As I mentioned, we are slammed with orders from the sale, so it's a good problem to have. It is coming at a time where some people are on vacations and people have stuff going on, so we are running around a little crazy. So, and let's see here. And why is my son texting me when he's supposed to be leaving for work? So, we'll find out. So, other than that, if there's anything else you guys want to chat about real quick, I got a couple minutes before I got to get back to processing so it doesn't get all backed up here and all that. So, never mind. It was just Aiden letting me know that he's leaving for work. So Lisa's at the eye doctor this morning, and I'm doing the live. Otherwise, I was worried that the teenager might not get up when his alarm goes off for work, because he's 17 and he loves to sleep on summer break. So I texted him before that I came on here for the live saying, make sure you're up, make sure your alarm goes off. I was texting Maddie to ask if she was up in case she needed to go wake him up. And he actually was just calling to let me know that he is up and ready and on his way to work. So there's a parenting win for today. My son actually got up when he needed to and got ready for work and is leaving on time all on his own. There is hope for him yet, because sometimes I wonder. So let's see. So what else is going on? Like I said, there's a couple fall things here. I don't think any of it's new, but it's what's cool is with some of the bushes, it's so easy to just do a quick arrangement. I'm gonna try not to knock everything down here. Literally just you can put 2 of these bushes in a vase. And the nice thing about just about all of our floral stuff, as you guys know, almost every branch and everything is wired. So you can shape stuff, you can splay stuff out, you can make it look as full or as thin as you need to. I know that wreath we showed last week, I just was kind of looking for something to fill that. Gloria said, love that sled making. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, the one she showed, I think it was last week that she showed that. Yeah, that turned out great. Yeah, if you guys don't follow us, make sure you follow us on Facebook and especially Instagram, because Instagram is mainly, I think Nikki's using that to show off her, her how-tos for the craft projects and that. So make sure you're following that. I know she's mentioned she's got a lot of new stuff that she's working on. So you'll see a bunch of new stuff popping up in there as she completes those, because I do know they're a lot of work, because she's got to film the whole thing, and maybe an hour-long craft. She's got to chop it down and speed it up to a 45-second video or whatever it may be. But yeah, I know she mentioned she's got some fun stuff she's going to be working on here for fall and for Christmas and all that. So make sure you follow on there. With that, I'm probably going to be jumping off here because no one's been processing for the last 45 minutes. So the orders are probably getting backed up, and I want to make sure that you guys get all your stuff you ordered. Again, for those of you who are new, factorydirectcraft.com. If you place an order before midnight, on the payment page, click the little box above the credit card field that says use coupon code and type in Summer Stock Up 26. And that'll get you 25% off of any order, no matter how big or small. And if your order is shipping within the U.S., orders over $50 will ship for free. With one exception, if you there are some items on there that might be like heavily discounted, like usually if it has DW in the name, it may not be eligible for free shipping, but it's a very, very, it's only a few items. So with that, I will see you guys next week. Nikki will be back. We'll be back to our regular, 45 minutes, hour-long show next week with lots of new stuff to show you guys. We got some new stuff coming in. We do have some new stuff that's coming. We haven't had a chance to go through it really, because everybody has been thrown at picking and packing all these orders. Because there's a lot of them. They said, remember, no energy drinks, no matter how busy. Nope. I mean, unless Dr. Pepper's an energy drink. So I promise you, this whole thing is not full of Red Bull. I don't need a heart attack that bad. So, but it is, for better or worse, maybe I've replaced my my energy drink addiction with Dr. Pepper. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, no, it's no energy drinks. I'm doing pretty well. I think I've only had one in the last month. So Nancy, I appreciate you looking out, for my well-being. I appreciate that a lot. So with that, all right, guys, we'll see you next week. We'll have some new stuff to show you. Nikki will be back. It'll be back to our regular show. If you're new here, tune in next week at 10 a.m. Eastern time. You'll kind of get a better idea of the full show that we normally do, and not just me rambling maybe incoherently for the last 30 minutes. So, all right, everybody, hey, have a good weekend. Hopefully the weather stays nice. Hopefully all the wildfires get tamed and all that, and everything clears up and everyone stays, tornado free and all that. If it's hot and humid, go find a pool or something to jump into, stay in the shade, hydrate. We'll see you guys next week. Take care of yourself, including everybody else. Have a good one. Bye-bye.